That was a comic. After a long, excruciating month of delay, it's finally here. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Werewoof Reactions. My name is Wolfie, and today we're going to be taking a look at issue number 25 of the IDW Sonic the Hedgehog comic series. Let's go! So finally, after a month-long wait, because IDW had to push this one back, it was supposed to come out in January, got postponed till February, because this one is extra length. After that cliffhanger they left us on, finally we get to read and see what happens. So, if you're new to these videos, here's how it normally goes. I tell you guys what I liked, what I didn't like, and then I give it a score. But first, I must read it to you in an extremely overly dramatic fashion. So without further ado, guys, I know you're as excited as I am to get into this. Let's begin! Angel Island, a flying paradise hidden in the clouds, kept aloft by the power of the Master Emerald. Its location is secret to all but a select few, including its sole resident, Knuckles. That looks like a restoration shuttle? Sonic? Hey, Knux. Why do you look like Metal Sonic? Long story. Stay back. I didn't want to land on the grass just in case. What's wrong with my grass? Nothing, just... Look, Amy and Tails will explain. I gotta get back up to speed. They better! I want answers! Even though I get the feeling I won't like them. Meanwhile, aboard Eggman's flagship, the Face Ship. Starline, you traitor! Not at all, sir. I brought the Deadly Six here to solve the problem you could not. I'll deal with you later. Metal Sonic, destroy for daddy! Honestly, Doctor, you know we can control your robots, and yet you send one to attack? Precisely why I brought you here. You six will keep the Zombots under control while Eggman researches a better way to contain the metal virus. You see, Doctor? I'm making up for your lack of foresight with... excuse me. Back in line, beast. Before Starline can regain his breath and use the conch again, Zaz grabs him by the head and headbutts him! As Starline reels back in pain, Xena grabs the conch out of his hand and brings it to Zavik. What was that about a lack of foresight? As this is going down, Cubot and Orbot receive a transmission from an unknown party. As we zoom in on the screen, we can see the icon is none other than Rouge the Bat. Starline, dazed and confused, steps back against Eggman. But the conch! It only works as long as your lungs last, idiot! Then we'll remove those first. Now then, how did you put it? Ah yes, Metal Sonic, destroy for daddy! Metal Sonic, under Zavik's control, begins immediately attacking the two. As Metal Sonic closes in on the two, Starline opens up a portal, causing Eggman, Starline, and Metal Sonic to all fall through at once. Ugh! We had him! How are we supposed to rip him to shreds now? We shift our priorities. We lost Eggman, but we gained his flying fortress, which means we took his means to create the metal virus, and perhaps most important of all, we have the fabled Chaos Emeralds. Huzzah, so what do we do with them? They're so shiny and beautiful, ugh. I can't stand them, but their powers are irrefutable. Zavik begins ripping the Chaos Emeralds out of what was Eggman's throne, before attaching it to his own body. Zavik, now infused with the power of one Chaos Emerald, begins to speak again. Like all things, we take their power as our own. Bravo! A+ plan, new boss. What are you doing? Saving our servos, dummy. Play along so he doesn't take control of us. Oh, I get it. We're only pretending to like his evil, crazy plan. Precisely. Just act like he's Eggman when he's in one of his moods. So, like most days? You would serve me freely. Of course, new boss. We really are quite spineless, both literally and figuratively. Ha! Then take us towards the largest known pocket of survivors. As you command. I'll be sure to log your orders so you're all well coordinated too. As Orbot gives the thumbs up, we can see that it wasn't just directed towards Zavik, but a certain bat spy in the rafters. Very well. Then let's begin. Alone, each of us could command a few dozen Zombots at most. Empowered by the Emeralds, we'll command thousands. Starline had the right of it. We will command the Zombot horde. Instead of rambling, shambling masses, we will orchestrate tides of terror across the world. We will bring total, utter devastation to the world Eggman and Sonic have fought over for so long. Once every living thing has been infected, and neither Eggman nor Sonic has anywhere left to run, then we will give them the mercy of a slow end. By the corrupted masses they sought to conquer or protect. Back on Angel Island. Hey, you up to speed, Nux? You sure brought trouble to my island again. Just then, Eggman, Starline, and Metal Sonic come careening out of the portal that he created earlier.
Oh, thank heavens! We're out of range of Zavok's control!
And in even worse trouble! As we can see in the distance, Amy is already readying her hammer for battle.
Hold on, Amy. What? Sonic, after all he's done, you can't! Eggman has had every advantage. Why would he come to us without his army, his Eggmobile, his anything? Something happened. He's going to give us a straight answer or I'll infect him myself.
One thing I'd like to point out in this panel is I love how protective Metal Sonic is of his dad. I love it. P-Brain let the Deadly Six onto the face ship. They took over everything.
A good idea, just lacking in execution.
Why should we trust a single word either of you say? Before either one can answer, SBO poofs onto the scene. Everyone, I just got word from Rouge. Hurry. Soon. Glad to hear from you, Rouge. Eggman, Starline, and Metal Sonic just appeared on Angel Island.
Ah, figures.
Before we go any further, I'd like to also point out something about this panel. If you look very close, there's a lot happening in this one particular panel. First of all, this character, I believe this is a sheep character, that is a character that's been long running in the IDW comics. You can see her in previous issues, but notice how she's freaking out because Sonic is right over her head, and she's this close to touching an infected person. Also, look in the background. SBO and Knuckles are giving Starline the stare down. They're not letting their eyes off of him. Like, straight up. If you don't want to mess with two characters, Knuckles and SBO are another one. Then look in the foreground in front of Tails and Eggman. Look how General is staring down Metal Sonic. Like, this is just a tense scene. This could be one of the most tense standoff scenes of all time. Like, this is great. I love it. I also wonder who would win in a fight between Metal Sonic and General. They're practically almost like the same as far as like battle combat wise goes. I don't know. Maybe General just because he has like, well, anyway, I'm sorry. Back to the story. Turns out Eggman was powering his ship with all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Zavok has distributed them to the rest of the Deadly Six and sent them out into the world. With that kind of power, the world is in serious trouble. Exactly how long have you been on my ship? A few days. I almost had a plan to steal the emeralds when the Deadly Six arrived. Now I'm coordinating with Orbot to spy on the deployments and coordinate our counterattack. I can't hire good help, but I sure can build it. You don't get to gloat. Tell us how to cure the metal virus right now. You can't. Yes, you can. I had a cure but lost my research. Fine, I don't have one, and I don't need it. My research found that as the metal virus mutates, it becomes unsustainable. Any heterotrophic eukaryotic cells will eventually suffer a form of adaptosis. Autotrophic cells will endure slightly longer, but not by much. What does that even mean? It means the Zombots will disintegrate. How long do we have? 200 years, give or take. I'll have evacuated to a different planet well before then. He's right. As Silver steps in, we can see he has gone through a lot. Dude is straight beat up. In my time, all that was left were ruins of metallic plants. The future I came to stop is already coming to pass. Because of this monster. Silver, you're hurt. Where is everyone from Ice Paradise? The shuttle went down to Zombots. I couldn't save anyone. Is my time doomed because of my failures here? Is he always this melodramatic? You don't get to judge. In these next few panels, we can see that someone is taking aim at Eggman through the crosshairs, before Cream steps in front. Please don't, Miss Whisper. Agreed. Eggman is mine to destroy. Move. I like that during all of this, Omega is still Omega, despite only being a head. I understand why you hate him. I really, really do. But Mr. Sonic and the others need his help to figure out a way to fix this. I want to see my mother again, and Chocola, and everyone else. I know I'm asking a lot, but I'd give anything to have them back. Aren't they worth it? And once again in these next few panels, we can see like an emotional level in Sonic comics I really wasn't expecting. As Whisper reluctantly lowers her weapon and takes her mask off, we can see she is just really hurting, especially considering what happened in the last issue. Eggman has caused her so much pain, considering what happened with our old gang and also what happened with Tangle. If you don't know, check out issue number 24. These are emotions I never really expected to see in a Sonic comic book, but it feels like it's earned here. As Cream embraces Whisper to comfort her, she begins to speak again.
Thank you. We'll stay with you so you won't be so lonely.
I am not lonely, I am enraged. Once again, we reconvene with our heroes and villains to see how the planning stages are going.
Okay, so we don't have a way to make a cure. Think, people, because I'm running on fumes here. Let's tackle the issue in manageable portions. Perhaps the Master Emerald could neutralize the Deadly Six. No, we can't move it without risking the whole island, and we certainly can't lure them here. It's too much of a gamble.
And you're not touching it. Perhaps Chaos Control then.
Shadow was much better at it than me, and it only moves a target over a limited range. It can't change things. But maybe if you were supersonic, could it work then? I don't think so. Being supersonic means the Chaos Emeralds give me unlimited power, but I can't just do anything with it.
Have you forgotten the Chaos Emeralds were scattered to the winds with the Deadly Six?
One thing at a time. I don't hear you coming up with any bright ideas.
I wanted you all to exhaust yourselves of your bad ideas first. It's simple. We'll use the Warp Topaz. Starline told me himself that it can cause massive changes with just a little charge. Pump the power of Supersonic through it, and he can warp the virus away in one fell swoop. We can see by Starline's expression he is not liking this plan one bit.
Did you forget the Chaos Emeralds are scattered to the winds of the Deadly Six?
One thing at a time.
You'll have to think of something else, because I won't allow it.
You talk as if you have a say in the matter.
As the only expert on the Warp Topaz, I most certainly do. What you're proposing is exceedingly reckless. Creating and directing warp portals is difficult. The components of my glove were built after countless hours of careful testing. Supersonic using the Warp Topaz recklessly could undo the metal virus, or it could warp space-time so badly it collapses the entire planet. We have a safe haven here. We have a safe haven here. We have resources. We can put in the work and find a safe, reasonable way to regain control of the situation. We can still win.
The rodent is living on borrowed time. This place won't be safe for much longer. And I'll take any risk to ensure those blasted Zeddy don't use my own genius against me. We don't have any better options. We're ending this.
No, I'll figure out a way to finish what you started. You can thank me later.
Just as Starline is about to make his escape through the portal, Metal Sonic quickly jumps in, snatching him up and putting him in a death grip. Thank you, Metal. Starline, you're fired. And just like that, Metal Sonic flings Starline into his own portal as it vanishes, with no way for Starline to come back. Something I'd also like to point out in this specific panel right here. You'll notice that when Eggman snatches the glove off of Starline's hand, look at his hand. I'm not sure if this is the coloring or if this is actually part of his design, but it looks like his hands are burnt. Like, actually like singed. Like, those hands look like they've been through some pretty bad stuff. I'm imagining this is what the testing he was talking about earlier meant. Maybe something bad happened with either the Chaos Emeralds or the Warp Topaz that kind of messed up his hand, but look at it. When the glove is off, his hand is a little bit jacked up. Either that or it's just like that because, like, I'd assume it's because of whatever happened of him with his previous testings. Anyway, back to the story.
Are we okay with this? The guy brought Eggman back to his old self and tried to blow me and Silver up. Yeah, we're okay with this.
Now, on to the business of the Chaos Emeralds. 2 are on the face ship. 1 powers it, while the other is with Zavik. Rouge is an expert jewel thief. I'm sure she can handle those. That leaves 5 of the Deadly Six to deal with, formidable opponents on their own, but now empowered by the Chaos Emeralds.
So, we still have each other. We'll overwhelm them one at a time.
Rouge said they were all networked through the face ship, though if one manages to warn the others, that's it.
So we have to hit them all at once.
That won't be a problem. I can scavenge materials from the shuttle and use the Warp Topaz to build a multi-portal generator. With Rouge and Orbot's counterintelligence, I can send you all to your exact targets.
That's not the only issue though. It would be better if everyone had a backup in case, you know. Yeah, I don't know how much fight I've got left in me. At Supersonic I'll be fine, but right now? I've got an idea. Let me make a call. Call? Who's left to ask for help?
You guys are probably all wondering who the call was gonna be. It could have been anybody. And boy was I happy to see the Babylon Rogues. They are here and they are ready.
Really? You called the Babylon rogues? They're thieves, and they spend all day on a blimp. Who else would have avoided the plague and would be perfect for stealing Chaos Emeralds? Sonic the Hedgehog, you're looking more pathetic than ever. Charming as ever, Jet. You gonna help us or what? Maybe, if the reward's big enough. Jet, if we don't help them, where are we gonna refuel? How are we gonna eat? Who are we gonna steal from? We can figure all that out without stooping to being goody-goodies.
Back off, Wave. If the boss says we ain't gonna do it, we ain't gonna do it.
Thanks, Storm.
But I do like to eat.
Jet, I get it. You've got an image to maintain. Your own way of doing things. But the fact of the matter is, I can't do this without you. I need your help, Jet. And the world needs the legendary Windmaster.
As we can see by that little comment, look at the expressions on the Babylon Rogues. They know. Jet's ego just needs to be massaged just a little bit, and already he's agreeing to it.
Well, if that's the case, who am I to deny the world their savior? Come on, tell me what I can do that Sonic can't. Don't worry, I won't tell Knuckles. My ego's been taking a beating for days. I need to go for a run, but I'll be back for deployment.
And with that, we flash back to the chaos being caused by the Deadly Six.
That's right, tear it all down. Leave nothing standing.
As the wall comes crashing down, we can see innocent civilians cowering in fear.
Ooh, trying to hide? Well, too bad. Beat the metal virus into him.
Vista View. Oh, this is barely a snack. It's all we have left in town. No, wait, I can, It's simple. I'm hungry. Feed me or I feed you to the Zombots. Now get cooking. Orchardville.
Nothing else quite pleases me as an unanswered mercy plea. The crying, screaming, frantic wails as all light of hope flickers and fails. Ooh, a heroic final stand. How pointless. Gather round them, take the children away. He will watch, they all shall pay.
Sunset City.
Ugh, this is all the town has to offer? It was a wasteland before I even got here. You, why isn't the shopping here any better?
Nothing can suit someone as radiant as you?
Good answer. I'll spare you for another hour. As for the rest of you, praise Xena.
Wintersburg. Forward, my minions. Let no heartbeat go unnoticed. Let no warm breath be unpunished. The invasion goes well, Zavik. I can see the virus spreading to the forest beyond. I dare say this continent will be fully converted in a few days. Proficiency I can only expect from you, Master. Is there more you can be doing? I assure you, I am not resting on my laurels, Master. I will see to it that we've infected everything from coast to coast by tonight. Tomorrow, the world. And on this panel, we can see all the main characters who were infected by the Zombot virus. Next time, Retaliation! Alright, so that was issue number 25, and a lot happened in this book. And just to make sure I don't miss a single thing, I'm going to open this book up and kind of flip through as we go through this. So, first of all, answering the question right off the bat, people have been asking for the longest time, where's Knuckles? Where's Knuckles? Where's Knuckles? Where the F is Knuckles during all this? What's happening with Knuckles? Finally, we understand. The first page basically is like, oh, by the way, he's been chilling on Angel Island the whole time. Of course, how could he know what's happening down on Earth, Mobius, wherever you want to call the planet? Still unnamed, as far as I know. So he's just been kind of hanging out, and then here comes the shuttle with all the trouble, bringing it straight to him. Starting with a half, like more than half. He's like 3/4 Zombotted Sonic. I guess he couldn't run while the ship was, moving up to Angel Island. So the whole time the infection's just spreading on him as as the ship is going up to Angel Island. So he had to land instantly. And the dude's that shot of him almost fully zombotted is oh god, that's a bad look. That being said, I love that it's just Knuckles is confused, what the heck is going on? What's going on? So thankfully they cut out all the filler part and they just kind of jump ahead to where they're oh yeah, by the way, Knuckles, so you're informed now? He's yeah, I get it. Going to the Zeti, the Deadly Six, right off the bat, they didn't hesitate to immediately make their intentions known. The moment they stepped through that portal, you knew there was going to be trouble. Eggman's like, what the F? Metal Sonic, get him! Metal Sonic's like, I got this. Don't worry, Dad, I got this. And it's like, no, I forgot. Yeah, they can control robots. So it's like, what do you do once you have control of Eggman's greatest creation and turn it against them? They gotta flee. So, right off the bat, he tries to use the conch, and I was like, okay, something has to go wrong for this, for the Deadly Six to kind of break out and do their own thing. They can't be under control of Starline. So I was thinking maybe they were gonna have like Starline under control of them for like an issue or two, but then they were gonna concoct some sort of crazy plan to steal the conch away from him, and then they turn on him. No, it was instant. Literally, like after the minute he finishes blowing it, Zaz is like, all right, boom, headbutts the crap. I hurt my hand there. It hurt my head. Actually, my hat took the brunt of that. Like headbutts the crap out of Starline. And then Xeno's like, yoink, just immediately. Like, they didn't drag that out at all. That was like, what, 1 page? It took 1 page for that to go out of control. And damn, Starline gets the business in this book. Like, damn. Or like, headbutted, nearly killed by Metal Sonic. And then at the end, gets fired by Eggman. And like I said earlier in the issue, I'm kind of, forgive me if my thoughts are kind of all over the place. I just finished reading this, so I'm just kind of remembering things as I'm flipping through here. I can't necessarily go in order because like just a lot of stuff happened. But Starline, if you noticed when Eggman took the glove off of his hand, I said this in the story part, in case some of you skipped the story part, his hand was really burnt. If you look closely at it, I'm not sure again, it looked more than intentional, like a coloring thing. It looked like his hand was actually jacked up. Perhaps from a previous experiment he talked about when he was experimenting with the warp topaz, or maybe something else happened. As we know, he's a man of science. He's probably did a lot of experiments. He probably jacked up his hands. That's probably the reason he's wearing those gloves all the time, not just because of the warp topaz. Going back to the Deadly Six. Sorry, again, my thoughts all over the place, but I'm just making little things as I notice. Instantly take control of the situation, turn, and right there, they were gonna kill Eggman and Starline right there. This shows that unlike Eggman, who's okay, one thought at a time, Wolfie. Unlike Eggman, who has a goal, I want to destroy Sonic. I want to make him watch as I turn the world into my utopia. Right, that's Eggman's general goal. Eggman Land, all that, right? Metal Sonic's goal is basically when he's not independent of Eggman's, when he's not loyal to Eggman, his is just to usurp Sonic. I want to show Sonic I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I am the original. He has got like this whole complex thing. As far as villains go, they're pretty much, depending on, you know, based on game, Mephiles was basically the goddamn devil. Every character had different reasons for doing what they were doing. Chaos was mad because of what had happened with Tikal's tribe with Pac-Mania, whatever that character's name was. I can't remember, Pac-a-Mac or something. And assaulting the Chows, and Chaos was just in a rage. The Deadly Six seem to have no quarrels with killing people and destroying the planet. They don't care about conquering the planet. They just want to destroy. They want to destroy everything. They want to see the world burn. They are one of those villains. And I can kind of get that from Lost World as well, where Lost World, it was more, yeah, they got control of Eggman's machine. They sucked the life from the planet. They kind of killed the planet for a bit. And then Tails and Sonic eventually get to the machine and reverse it and give the planet the energy back. But they did destroy the planet the first time. Even though it got reversed, they technically killed Amy and Knuckles, and they would have killed Eggman too if Eggman had not had a backup plan in Sonic Lost World. Play the Lost World story if you want a little intake. They were bland in that game, but if you look at what they really almost accomplished, actually what they did accomplish and what they nearly accomplished, they're pretty cold for villains. It's a shame they're just so bland. But in this book, I like that we actually get a look into the personalities a little bit more than not at all. Zavik, of course, is the leader. We see that Zaz, I feel of the Deadly Six, I feel the ones with the most personality. Personally, for me, I like Zaz. He's the insane one, the one that's always looking for a fight. He has the most personality of all of them, I feel. And that's because he's just so crazy that he's almost entertaining in that way. Zik is nothing. That's the little old man guy. He's really nothing for me still. Xena, she's still kind of the girl, but they kind of gave her a little bit something else in this one, a little bit more. We'll elaborate on that one later. Zavik is still he's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally here to Zombot the hell out of the world. And trying to remember, Zomnom's still kind of just a hungry dude, but still, again, Ian Flynn is only working with what they're giving him. He's trying. You could tell he's trying to do something more with them. But it's cool to see the Deadly Six actually as a legitimate threat now. Like, this is what Lost World could have been. Like, say, let's rewrite Lost World just for example to give the Deadly Six a little more something. Have it be like maybe Sonic went to Lost Hex, wherever that is, and by going there, he somehow woke up these six, and these six are freaking. They're like basically like hell spawns. They exist to destroy. And because of the way Lost World was told, we never really got much backstory or elaborate anything on these characters, so we're just kind of left wondering, what's Lost Hex? Who are the Deadly Six? Are they kind of locked with the Lost Hex? Were they always on Lost Hex? What's the deal with them? How do they know how to control robots if there aren't any robots on Lost Hex in the first place? A lot of things unexplained, and it's a Sonic game for the most part, but still, when it comes to villains, most of the villains usually had something explaining their reasoning for doing things. Mephiles wanted to reunite with Iblis. Chaos wanted to, basically, he was just angry, wanted to destroy the planet. BioLizard was only acting out what Gerald's last wish was. He was the prototype of the ultimate life form. Trying to think of other villains. Like, most villains had some sort of reasoning for doing what they did. Deadly Six just kind of showed up and were doing whatever. Sorry, I'm rambling again, but I'm just giving a mini rant on the Deadly Six. But back to the story at hand. Cubot and Orbot remaining loyal to Eggman, and also with the double down effect of Rouge being there the whole time, and she was about to invoke her own plan to steal the Chaos Emeralds. Maybe for herself, we don't know. We want to think that she was doing it for like good reasons. It's hard to tell if Rouge what her true intentions are. I'd imagine she was actually going to get the Chaos Emeralds for herself, or not for herself either, actually. Probably to get them back to the Resistance to figure out what they could do to cure the virus. If I had to take a guess, because, you know, Shadow got infected and Omega's in no state to fight anymore. Her team's gone, and I want to think she's kind of like the team mom in a way where she, not in that way, but like she keeps her group together. She keeps them kind of organized in that way. She's kind of like, she has the hard, thankless job of keeping Shadow and Omega in check, I feel. So I want to think she was there to get the Chaos Emeralds to bring it back to Resistance to help get the cure. Not necessarily for herself, because as she said before, can't do much with the whole jewel thieving thing when the world's infected and it's dangerous. So Rouge is already there, concocting some sort of scheme before the Deadly Six showed up and messed everything up. Now the Deadly Six are powered by the Chaos Emeralds, and that gets really bad. And as we can see them causing devastation along the planet, we can see them each in their own personality and what they kind of... Don't mind that. Someone just hit the follow button on the YouTube channel. That was an alert. We can see each of their personalities. As far as like Zaz, he's just like destruction, destruction. I want the world to get destroyed. And then he's like, he sees survivors and he's like, nah, get them. No mercy, no empathy, no nothing. Excuse me. God, what's the Zor, the emo one? I like Zorg too. I found his like constant negative emo personality kind of funny. He had some pretty good one-liners in Sonic Lost World. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of found him funny in a way. I feel like Zaz, Zor, and Zavik have like the most personality. Xena's like 4th place, Zimzom, whatever, the hungry boy, 5th place, and Zik is like last. But yeah, Xena, like, she's just, I like to think of her more, the way she's written in this book is more of an egotist. Like, she's more about getting her ego stroked and all that kind of thing. Zik is just about being efficient. I just want to make sure this goes according to plan. So we got to see each of their personalities, and Zor got some pleasure out of seeing people begging for their lives as they got zombotted. So yeah, this is the Deadly Six, and now they're in a position of power, kind of like the way I thought it would go when they first kind of introduced the idea. And Zavik sitting on that throne, just the way I predicted in one of my previous comic reviews. I said, like, yes, have Zavik sit in the throne and kind of overlook the world as it gets destroyed. And I was like, you know, that would be a really good look for him. And wouldn't you know it, Zavik in the throne. I like it. I like where this is going. I want to see more. I want to see where this goes. Because as we see all our heroes and villains come together on Angel Island, I like that we got to see the characters intermix and talk, and we get to see dynamics we never got to see before, such as I said this again and I'll say it again, and then one panel, there's a panel, I'm probably gonna post it like over here, where Metal Sonic is blocking Sonic from touching Eggman. Sonic is threatening Eggman, he wasn't gonna touch him, but Metal Sonic's like standing away like nah, you ain't touching my dad, get away from my dad. Like I like the dynamic of Eggman being like this father figure to his greatest creation, and Metal Sonic is so loyal to him. I'm so glad when Silver showed up. Like, I thought for a second when he came out that portal and he was beat up, I was like, oh god, no, he's gonna be infected. He's gonna be infected. It's gonna be the big reveal where he's like infected, but thank goodness he's okay. Yeah, things did not go well for him, obviously. Not a single survivor, so his efforts were wasted, sadly. Thankfully, uninfected, but, you know, that could change later on in the issues. This whole issue was basically a turning point. Last issue was like the lowest point. It's not going to instantly start getting better. This takes time. But we can at least see a kind of, like someone kind of lit a match for a second. We saw a little spark of hope right there as our heroes and villains, Eggman included, finally formulate a plan to kind of counteract this Zombot virus. But first, they have to get through their biggest hurdle yet, the Deadly Six, aided by this Zombot horde, which is going to be an issue for all of our characters. And also, adding to the mix, we get the Babylon Rogues. The Babylon Rogues are back. Jet, Wave, and Storm join the party. And it's so good to see them outside of the normal spin-off games, the racing game spin-offs. Again, I heard they showed up in the Archie comics. I'm not sure in what way they showed up and like what storyline they were involved in. But for me, this is the first time I get to see them besides the Tangle and Whisper spin-off comics. I've done a review of those. Go check those out. They showed up in the Tangle and Whisper spin-off comics, but it's good to see them here in a mainline Sonic story. And God, there's, like I said, there's so much in this dang book that I'm trying not to pass them all up. Seeing Sonic have to lower himself as to beg to Jet. I feel Jet, I like Jet the Hawk because I found him to be like, basically, what if Sonic's ego was so big that he became almost insufferable? That's what Jet is to me. Like, he's basically Sonic on the other spectrum. Like, ego, but almost too much ego. And he just can't stand the thought of losing. And it's like, but just casually kind of stroke his ego a little bit, like, you know, just kind of pet his ego like you pet a dog or a cat, and boom, he's putty in your hands. You can kind of convince him to do anything. But I love the idea that Sonic is right now, he's at his lowest point. He is tired. He's kind of like he's on his last leg, as we said many times before. He doesn't have time for this. He doesn't really have time to be doing this back and forth with Jet, so he kind of just tells him what he wants to hear. It's like, I'm pretty sure he also meant it too. Like, he's just like, we really, really need your help. We need the legendary Wind Rider. And you see like Jet like, yes, they do need me. I'm Jet. You know, I like that even in this moment, despite how much of a scumbag he is, he's willing to help, even though he had to get his little ego stroked first. Still, that is a Jet the Hawk. Keeping the characters in character is something I really liked about Ian's writing on these books so far. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. On these books so far, I've been talking a lot. Excuse me one second. But even then, even through all of that, we also found out something big about the metal virus. Eggman said it is unstable. As we all knew, we thought it only meant the virus would mutate constantly, which would mean even if you found a cure, it might counteract it or find a way to become a different strand that you're not immune to anymore, or something like that. So it constantly changes, which is why they weren't able to control it, because it gets stronger as it continues, basically. But we found out it actually is unstable to the point where the people who are zombotted will eventually disintegrate. Not instantly, thankfully. It's going to take 100 or 200 years, as Eggman said. And wouldn't you know it, that coincides with Silver's future. That eerie future where everything is just metallic. Nobody around. That would mean that in his future, excuse me again, that in his future, everything got zomboted. And that means everybody got zomboted and everybody disintegrated away over time. That's a horrific thought. That's terrible. It's like, that really is the Sonic CD bad future. Silver gets it bad, man. It's like, so it's already happening as we can tell, as things are in motion, as things are going right now. Silver's future is hard locked in unless something happens, but they formulated a plan to use the Warp Topaz and Supersonic together to hopefully warp it out of existence. That could be risky, but at this point it's the only shot they got, right? As they were formulating the plan, you can see Whisper was about to take a shot at Eggman. I think she might have killed him right there. And before people say, why is Whisper acting so harshly? Remember what this girl has gone through. The Diamond Cutters. Remember what Eggman and his robots did to the Diamond Cutters. And it was mostly Mimic that sold them out. But still, it was Eggman's creations that basically killed her group. And they, even then, after the fact, he created the Zombot virus. Oh, and the Forces. I know, everybody's thinking Sonic Forces, boo. Right, story. I get it, it's bad. We know, it's a bad story. But the events of Sonic Forces, 99.9% of the world got taken over by Eggman as well. So she's seen not only the Diamond Cutters get taken out during the events of Sonic Forces, so that all was his fault too. Then we see Tangle. What happened to Tangle in the last issue? If you guys have not seen it, where have you guys been? After what happened to Tangle in the last issue, that's also on Eggman. So yeah, I don't blame her for being mad. And at this point, I'm pretty sure she would have taken that shot, if not for good old pure girl Cream showing up and being the voice of reason and empathy as usual, despite being, I want to say, traumatized and mentally like broken at this point. She's still maintaining her idea of we can't, be doing this, because she's looking at the long term. We need Eggman to help come up with a cure. While she could easily just say, yeah, kill Eggman, it wouldn't bring her mom back and all of them. So in her mind, she definitely has the most potential of any character. I can see why Sonic says that, because it's just like, imagine this girl growing up, like if she can ever get, if she can also fight when she wants to, if she could ever get past her like super passive, not wanting to fight. There's a term, the name I'm not getting right now. I'm blanking on the name. She doesn't like fighting. If she could ever get over that, she could probably be one of the greatest heroes ever, because she's smart, but she's also empathetic, and that's something heroes need these days. I like that during this moment, though, even though she's breaking down and crying, Omega's kind of there. She's holding on to Omega's head. And Omega, like, some of you may think that Omega being there kind of ruined the moment of, like, this emotional moment between them. I feel he's there to let them have their moment, but also to kind of, so it's not overly melodramatic, you know what I mean? He's kind of there to break up God, I am blanking on so many words today. Sorry, I got off work like a few hours ago, and right now I'm a little tired, so let me think. To make sure it didn't get too dramatic, I guess he's just kind of there to insert, like, it's not even so much a joke, that's just something Omega would say. It's not him telling jokes. That is literally something Omega would say. I'm not no, I'm going to destroy Eggman, and no, I'm not lonely. I'm just angry right now because he's got no body. But yeah, man, Cream comforting Whisper is just such a Cream move, and it's so on point with what I imagine the Sonic comics to be in right now. It's like, boy, emotions, right? Boy, never thought you'd get these kind of emotions in a Sonic story, but man, yeah, again, I want to give a shout out to Adam, let me make sure I get the name right here, Adam Bryce Thomas. Great artwork. He does some really good expressions on the characters, and like I said before, all the artists bring something good to the table. Every single artist that works on this book has their own unique style, and I like them each for their own different reasons. I don't have a favorite, but I do enjoy Adam's artwork on the character expressions. He does a really good job of getting, like, capturing emotions and stuff like that. Without a single word, you can pretty much see what the characters are feeling, and it's like, that's kind of hard to emote with some of the Sonic characters' expressions. I don't know how I'd do it, but he did a really good job. Anyway, I did mention Starline absolutely getting wrecked in this, man. He's gonna be back later, but he's got no warp topaz. I wonder where he got sent to. I hope it wasn't to an infected area, because if that's the case, he better be a good runner, because he's gonna have to outrun hundreds of Zombots. I don't know where he went to, but hopefully he's okay. We'll find out soon, I guess. He's gonna be pissed. He's gonna be an antagonist that's gonna return later, or mess something up in the future for our heroes and their plan. But as of now, unknown. Metal Sonic is cold, man. You can tell he's super loyal to Eggman at this point, because it's like, not only are you not gonna attack Eggman, you backtalk Eggman. I'm there for that. You better not do anything to Eggman. I will be there to grab you and rip you apart. Like, Starline's lucky that Metal Sonic just didn't rip this dude, like, rip his arm off and give the arm to, like, I could see it in a grimdark story, like the moment Starline was about to teleport, Metal Sonic literally like zips over, grabs him by the arm, rips the arm off, and is like, "Here you go, Eggman." It just hands him like the bloody stub of an arm with the topaz jewel on it. Like, I know that's dark, but it's just like a funny thought of like Metal Sonic is just so, he doesn't care. He really doesn't. And Metal Sonic is just one of those characters you don't want to mess with, because I don't think there are that many characters that can take him, honestly. Yeah, having that character with Eggman is kind of like as his enforcer makes Eggman himself kind of a threat, right? Eggman himself, as he is without his machines, is not a threat, but with Metal Sonic there as his enforcer, yeah, okay, you ain't messing with Eggman. Yeah, good luck getting past Metal Sonic, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, it's cool. This book also does one of my favorite things. It's getting all the heroes together, all of them, including like unlikely heroes you wouldn't think of. This really did feel like almost an Avengers style level thing we're building up to. Like, this is almost like the Infinity War movie or the Infinity War comics, depending on what you prefer there, where all the heroes are kind of gathering together in a effort to take down the antagonist, powered by these stones of power. I know this is an ongoing story with Sonic, but in this vein, it feels almost like a Avengers Infinity War Endgame kind of story. And bringing in like the Guardians of the Galaxy, in this case the Babylon Rogues, to help out was really cool. I can't wait to see how all these heroes, how they're going to split the heroes off into groups, because that was one of the things, sorry, I'm going to break into a little mini thing here about the Avengers movie. Infinity War and Endgame did this kind of thing I like with the groups. They split them off into weird groups, like, excuse me here, you had like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and Iron Man as one group. You had Hulk with another, you know, you had them split into different groups you would normally see. So I'm hoping we see, like, I don't know, Amy, Tails, and Knuckles taking on one character. We see the Babylon Rogues taking on another. Maybe we'll see Silver, SBO, and, you know, just group them off into different character groups we don't see interact before. Because as far as I know, there's still groups of characters who have never interacted in games before. As far as I know, I don't think Shadow has ever spoken to Knuckles in a game. He might have, but I don't think Shadow and Knuckles have ever spoken to each other in game dialogue. Not counting spin-offs like racing games and stuff like that, like Team Sonic Racing. They talk to each other there, but I mean like a mainline game like Unleashed or Adventure or Forces even. I don't think they talk to each other. There's still characters that have yet to interact with each other in-game, mainline games. So it's going to be cool to see how they do that in the comics coming up. I do like how they're building it up, though. This is going to be great when eventually they go after the Deadly Six. So, and as we all saw in the last panel, finally, that's a dark image, but Big the Cat, as we all know, was definitely one to get infected, because on that ship, in the previous issue, I believe it was the issue Vector got infected, which was issue number, I want to say, let me look it up real quick. It was like issue 20 something. Where Vector got infected. That was the last that we heard Big say, "Froggy, where are you?" on that ship, and that was when it was revealed that somebody on the ship was infected. Everybody escaped, and we did not see Big on that shuttle, so therefore that's how he got infected. For people wondering, oh, did they off-screen him in a different issue? Yeah, he was kind of not shown, but he was on the Resistance ship when the infected civilian got on board and infected everybody. So Big was on that ship and probably got infected as well. So as of now, our current Zombotted lineup: Vector, Charmy, Jewel, Big, Tangle, Shadow, Vanilla, Chocola, Cheese, and the Village Elder. That's 10 main characters I can think of right now off the top of my head. Yeah, it's not looking good, but it's kind of looking good maybe. I can't wait to see this next issue next month. I cannot wait to see how they go about taking on the Deadly Six. Now it feels like we're getting somewhere with like the story here. Now it feels like we have an actual conflict, and now the Deadly Six actually are a bit of a threat. Thank you, comic team, for giving us this awesome story. I feel this is definitely worth the wait. That month delay killed me a little bit, but yeah, after this, I'm so glad the story progressed to the point where we are now seeing things. Gears are moving in motion. We are now starting to get to the meat and potatoes of this story, if you will. Can't wait to see what the Babylon Rogues do. Can't wait to see what everybody else does. I think I've covered everything that happens in this particular book. Just flipping through real quick to make sure I cover absolutely everything. Not everything will be covered. I'm going to try to make sure I get everything. But yeah, man, I did not expect Starline's plan to just go, like, AWOL immediately. I thought it was going for a little bit, but nope. Yeah, this was great. I can't wait to see more. I will give this issue... This one was also extra length. There was a lot more pages in this one than normal. So I will give this issue... an 8... 8 point... Don't mind the mess behind me, by the way. It's just got a lot of unpacking to do. 8.8 out of 10. 8.8 out of 10. This is really good. I liked it a lot. Can't think of anything I didn't really like, because I feel I got more than enough in this book to sate me until the next issue. So keep it up, guys. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with next. I honestly have no idea where this might go. And in fact, if people are thinking this might go the way of another reboot, if the Topaz Jewel Supersonic combo goes wrong, it might cause another reboot thing where it's like, uh-oh, the world got reset again. Is this how they introduced the Freedom Fighters into the IDW verse? I don't know. We don't know. Don't think too hard into this, and please don't turn this into a thing where it's like, if this happens and it's like, oh, they didn't bring back the Freedom Fighters, otherwise like gets mad and stuff like that. Just saying, these are just kind of theories we're kind of casting together here. But let me know what you all thought of this book. Hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and ring that bell if you haven't already for more videos like this one. Let me know what you guys thought. Seriously, I want to get some different thoughts, and maybe I missed something you guys noticed as well in the comments section. This has been great. I can't wait. Also, if you guys are feeling generous and you kind of want to help out the channel a little bit, if you'd like to show some support, please visit my Patreon. If you'd like to give anything from $1 to anything higher, anything you can to support the channel, I'd greatly appreciate that. I have a little Patreon credit list at the end of every video for people who do show support to the channel. For now, I believe that is gonna do it for this video. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. So, until then, stay tuned.